There's a descriptor economists love, the invisible hand of the market. It's an elegant turn of a phrase. It's almost comforting. Adam Smith coined it to suggest that market forces, left alone, will sort themselves out. It pairs nicely with the other old economic chestnuts, laissez-faire, the market knows, and the rising tide raises all ships. But those phrases feel a bit quaint right now, sort of like advice from a well-meaning uncle who's never had to meet payroll. Because today, that invisible hand doesn't nudge, it jabs. It's redirecting the stock market, slashing your budget, stamping out your client's appetite, and messing with my speaking calendar. And if you're not watching closely, it can pull the rug out from under your business, even when you've done everything right. The worst part? You don't need to sell to the government, apply for grants, or rely on foreign suppliers to feel the effects. The current administration's handling of the economy, tariffs, whirlwind market policy, and defunded programs is firing shockwaves throughout the business world. And those waves are reaching everyone. But first, a story. I had two fantastic European keynotes in the pipeline. Since all this economic upheaval, one has ghosted me entirely, and the other, a European client I've worked with twice before, told me this: I just can't put an American on my stage right now. Let's be clear. I don't build military drones. I don't sell farm equipment overseas. I don't submit grant proposals or collect federal checks. And yet, policy shifts, trade decisions, and economic hiccups are rolling downhill and crashing into my world. And yours too, whether you've noticed it or not. Now, I don't know what your internal GPS makes this sound like to you, but mine translates "don't call us, we'll call you" into "we're scared." Not scared of me, not scared of my message, and certainly not scared of the value I bring to their audiences. They're scared of what's going on. They're scared of the economy, of what's already started, of what's next, and of what all of this will cause. Simply put, they're scared of the unknown. You see, we all fall into a trap. We assume that if we don't sell to the government or have factories that depend on tariffs or subsidies, we're immune to macroeconomic policy. But we aren't. Confidence is a currency. When the economy wobbles, people stop investing, not just in concrete things like factories and buildings, but in ideas, in growth, in future forward conversations. They become tight-fisted, short-sighted, and risk-averse. They stop hiring speakers and stop funding training, and they start retreating. When people recoil, brands suffer. Not because the product gets worse, not because demand evaporates, but because fear is a terrible business partner. We like to think of market forces as predictable, kind of like gravity, but lately it feels more like an undertow. 1 minute you're standing firm, and the next you're being pulled somewhere you didn't plan on going. When global audiences don't want Americans on stage, that's not just about politics. That's about perception. When companies stop booking keynotes, that's not about PowerPoint fatigue. That's about fear. Don't kid yourself. Whether you're selling consulting, concrete, or content, we're all in the perception business. When the environment around your brand gets chilly, your pipelines will freeze. So here's what you can do. This isn't a call to panic. It's a call to adapt. Stay visible. Stay valuable. Keep telling your story and keep showing your value, because retreat is a race to the bottom, and that's not a race you want to win. When you're ready to inspire your teams to think differently, move confidently, and create meaningful impact in this climate, let's talk. The times might be uncertain, but your message doesn't have to be. Let's make sure it's heard. Reach out now before the fear gets louder than the opportunity.